Ruy Lopez opening, Morphy defense, open, classical defense, 10.NBD2011.BC2F512.NB3. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players. Both players had incredible precision in the end game. Sharp games are frequently the result of starting with the king's pawn, since it dominates the center and frees up the bishop and queen on the light squares. A typical answer is e5, which builds a position in the middle, controls d4, and frees up the queen and bishop on the dark square. The move nf3 advances the knight toward the center, engages the e5 piece in combat, and sets up a castle. nc6 defends the pawn on e5, advances the knight toward the center, and scans the d4 square. The Ruy Lopez opening develops the bishop to immediately attack the knight on c6, the lone defender of the e5 pawn. a6 forces the bishop to decide, exchange or retreat. ba4 safely retreats the bishop while keeping pressure on the knight. nf6 attacks the undefended e4 pawn and develops the knight at the same time. Castling gets the king out of the center and prepares to develop the rook to e1. nxe4 captures the undefended e4 pawn. d4 takes space in the center, attacks the e5 pawn and allows the dark squared bishop to develop. b5 takes space on the queen side and forces white's light squared bishop to b3. bb3 retreats the bishop to a more active square. d5 takes space in the center, protects the knight on e4 and allows the light squared bishop to develop. dxe5 captures the e5 pawn and attacks the important d6 and f6 squares. b6 develops the light squared bishop and defends the d5 pawn. nbd2 develops the knight toward the center and attacks the knight on e4. By growing a bishop from its initial square, this activates it. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. bc2 attacks the e4 knight. This protects an underdefended knight that is under attack. This connects the rooks, which helps them coordinate together in the future. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. It is a fair deal after all captures. Backs off. This strikes a rival knight. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. A pawn kicks the opposing knight, forcing it to move or risk being captured. The knight is thus brought to safety. Game's master. It is the final book action. A rook enters the action after developing outside of its starting square as a result. It is ideal. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. It is best. Backs off. It is ideal. This confines the opponent's king while also moving a rook to the 7th rank, activating it. It is ideal. This offers an equal trade of pieces. It is good. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This is the only move that works. It is best. Recaptures. It is ideal. This strikes a rival knight. It is ideal. This requires an outpost, a square that is currently in play where a pawn cannot push the knight off. It is ideal. This permits the opponent to create a passed pawn. It is an inaccuracy. Backs off. It is ideal. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. This is the only good move. It is a great move. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. This gets rid of a pawn that was posing a material threat. That's good. This wins material. This is the only good move. It is a great move. There was only one good move in that position. It is a mistake. There was only one good move there. This ignores an opportunity to threaten winning a pawn. It is a miss. What I would have advised is that. It is ideal. Very precise. It is best. Recaptures. Black is equal at this point in the endgame. It is ideal. This activates a queen by developing it off of its starting square. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. This evades the check from the queen. This is the only good move. It is a great move. This turns the pawn into a passed pawn, which means no other pawn may oppose it as it advances. A passing pawn could be promoted as a result of this. It is ideal. This stops the opponent from being able to push a passed pawn towards promotion. It is good. This threatens to force eventual checkmate. It is an inaccuracy. This move puts the queen on a safer square. It is best. This steps away from the checking queen. It is best. This forks pieces by creating a simultaneous attack. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. This steps away from the checking queen. It is best. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This is the only good move. It is best. This steps away from the checking queen. It is best. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. This wins a bishop. This is the only move that works. This prevents the opponent from being able to win a pawn. It is a great move. This prevents a queen on the other side from checking. It is ideal. This is the only good move. It is best. This defends the attacked pawn. It is best. This steps away from the checking queen. It is best. This forks multiple pieces. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. This steps away from the checking queen. It is best. This divides up parts by launching multiple attacks at once. It is ideal. A pawn that was being attacked and had no defenses is now protected by this. It is ideal. This defends the attacked pawn. It is best. This kicks the checking queen away with the pawn. It is best. From a prior move, recaptures. It is ideal. This move puts the queen on a safer square. It is best. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. This steps away from the checking queen. It is forced. What I would have advised is that. It is ideal. This forces the checking queen to move away due to a pawn kick. It is best. This makes winning a pawn a possibility. It is ideal. This avoids the queen's check. It is ideal. Very precise. It is best. This steps away from the checking queen. This is the only good move. It is a great move. Balanced. Neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players. Both players had incredible precision in the end game. This creates a threat to win a pawn. It is best. Balanced. Neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players. Both players had incredible precision in the end game.